Welcome and welcome back to the channel, guys. Real quick, y'all remember the video I did the other day on the Dodge Charger? I think it was. It would not start. Okay, that was part one, and part two is where we did the diagnosis and came up to the conclusion that it need a fuel pump. Okay, now here we are at part three. We getting ready to install a much needed fuel pump connector. Okay, this is the connector that was originally on the car. As you know, a brand new fuel pump has been the internal electrical circuitry has changed, which will require us to change the connector. Okay, now this is how it looks as it stands right now on the car. Okay, what we got to do is move the ground connector of the fuel pump over to pin 3. This is what it should look like right here when you're done. All right, we have to get this connector wired correctly in order for the car to start. This is my new package right here, guys. So let's get this thing open up. Got some butt connectors. Now, me personally, I chose to use the heat shrink tube, okay, to do my connections. Whichever works best for you is what I suggest you do. Okay, here's the 5 wires we're going to use. Now, like I say, the 2 thick ones we're going to be reserved for the fuel pump power supply and the fuel pump ground. All right, let's get started. Okay, this is B plus for the fuel pump. That go in pin 5. And the ground wire for the fuel pump go in pin 3. You do not want them side by side. That's the way it was originally on the car. So which makes me believe that's why they wanted to change it. I'm not sure why they had both of those side by side. Okay, so let's get this last sending unit wire in place. And now this is what it should look like as far as the connector. Okay, we're going to go install this on the car here in a second. Now, what I chose to do was pretty much stagger the wires. I'm not going to use the full length of the wires that it came with because it's only so far back I want to cut into the original harness. So what I tend to do, or what I chose to do, was stagger these wires, stagger the cut. Okay, do not make them side by side because there's a potential there that they could touch each other. You don't want that to happen. Okay, now granted, they're going to be soldered and sealed off. So, but even doing installation, you do not want them side by side. Okay, so you could arc some. In fact, you should have your battery disconnected when you're doing this type of repair anyway, but this is just the way I chose to do it, to be on the safe side. So alright, right now I'm just staggering these wires and removing some insulation off each one of those wires in preparation for my heat shrink tube. These tubes are fairly long, so I chose to cut them in half and just slide them over the wiring that I'm getting ready to solder. Alright, I'm going to solder these together, not butt connect them. This is just the way I choose to do it. Okay, you need to go with what way works for you. Alright, so what is this? One more. Now, I chose to use the full length of the heat shrink tube on the B plus and negative, but as you will see, I end up cutting those in half also. Okay, so guys, what I have to do right quick, right here, right now, after we put the heat shrink tube on, I'm going to go to an ad break real quick. Stay with me, don't go anywhere. Alright, we're back. We're at the car. Like I say, this connector has to go. This is useless. It do not work. I merely rigged this up just to get in the shop. Okay, I moved the negative terminal over to pin 3 just so I can start the car and bring it in the shop, trying to avoid pushing or pulling it into the shop. Okay, I much rather drive. Alright, so what we're doing here, guys, is just trying to match the length of the wires to the original wiring. Okay, so I'm just reverse staggering the harness that's on the car. Alright, removing some insulation, putting my, like I say, I had to recut the heat shrink tube. Okay, just make it half because being a full length was way too long, so I removed those 2 off and cut it in half. Okay, guys, I highly suggest you do these one by one. Alright, because you could lose track. Now, they are color coded, at least the original ones are, but I still suggest you do them one by one to cut out any risk of you cutting it or connecting those to the wrong wire. Alright, I'll be on the safe side, just do them one by one. Alright, let me install this heat shrink tube because, like I say, guys, in order to What I choose to use on the heat shrink tube is a heat gun, which is what you should use anyway. Don't use do not use a lighter, okay, a cigarette lighter. All right. Now, where are we? Where are we? I got a couple more. Looks like I have a couple more to attach together. Look at that. I even lost track of the coloring. So that's why I say, guys, doing one by one, that should make your life easier. All right. And cut, stagger them, reverse to the connector that you're about to install. Twist them all together like that. And at some point, guys, we getting ready to grab our soldering gun after, well, I got a couple more to twist together and put the heat shrink tube over. Okay, that look like the sending unit I need to get done, and one the B plus is not done yet, so let me twist that together and remove some insulation off there. Even staggering those, I still got them wrong, so it's just a little time consuming, but surely you factor that in when you gave the estimate. Okay, here's my B plus to the fuel pump. All right, guys, it's time for the solder gun. Quick ad break, be right back. Alright, we're back. Alright, grab your solder gun, guys. Pull the trigger so it can get hot. Now, guys, here's a warning, here's a tip. Okay, we're dealing with spark. Y'all see that? Yes, I had to cover that up. Okay, in fact, I blew the engine compartment or the interior compartment out with compressed air. We're trying to wipe away all the fuel vapors, all the fuel smell. We do not want that near these small flames. No matter what's the size of the flame, we don't want it near this fuel pump, this fuel tank. This is extremely dangerous. Like I say, blow the compartment area out. It's because of my solder gun. It's old and it's producing more flames than it is heat. So I have to be very extremely careful and solder all 5 of these wires together fairly quick. Okay, now this is by no means professional. In fact, I have a video coming out on how to professional solder 2 wires together, guys. Okay, I'm just in a quick hurry. I think the customer on his way. Actually, I think they're up there waiting. So I'm trying to get this done quickly. Now let's roll the heat shrink tube on top of the soldered joints. And because it's still hot, it's gonna melt the heat shrink tube. It's gonna fairly melt it a little bit. All right, so now it's time for the heat, guys. Let's grab our heat gun. What we're gonna do is just simply blow on the heat shrink tube. That should seal off this connection that you just made. Guys, do not use a cigarette lighter. Okay, reminder, we are near the fuel pump. We are near the fuel tank. Okay, there is fuel in this car. And remember, guys, outside it was a full tank of fuel. Okay, I didn't remove all the fuel, so it's still there. Alright, we got this all heat up. There's no risk, guys. I blew and blew. There's no vapor in the car. It's okay. Nothing's gonna happen. I'm extremely careful. I have all of this done. Now, in order to make this look a little professional, I went and grabbed some electrical tape, just to merely tape the wires together so it won't look so tacky. You never know, guys. Customer may go back there, and if they see that look extremely tacky, your image could be at risk. Nobody wants a tacky job image. All right, so I'm gonna wire this up together, guys, and we about to wrap this up, man. This pretty much done, guys. So let me grab my cover, run it through here, and all we're gonna do now is connect the connector to the pump, put this cover in place, and that's about it, guys. That's all I have. Thanks for watching. Comment, subscribe, and I'll see y'all on the next video.